Hey there, sports fans. Jenny here, coming at you with some fresh news about Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever as they gear up for the WNBA playoffs. Today we're talking about Clark's super chill pregame vibes and outfit for the Fever's regular season finale in Washington, D.C. Let's dive in. So picture this. It's the last game before the playoffs kick off, and you'd think the Fever would be all serious and intense, right? Well, not quite. These ladies are keeping things nice and relaxed, both on and off the court. During their practice session before facing the Washington Mystics, things got pretty playful. Get this, one of Clark's own teammates actually jumped on her and made her tap out. I mean, talk about team bonding, am I right? You love to see that kind of lighthearted energy, especially when the pressure's on heading into the postseason. But the real highlight was Clark's arrival at the arena. Our girl showed up looking like she was ready to hit the beach rather than the basketball court. Clark was rocking this super casual, surfer chic look that had everyone doing a double take. Let me paint you a picture. She's got on these Nike mid-rise cargo pants paired with a Nike dry-fit short-sleeve tee. It's giving total laid-back California vibes. But here's the thing. Even in this ultra-casual getup, Clark looks completely in control. It's like her outfit is saying, yeah, I'm chill, but I'm also here to dominate. And honestly, that pretty much sums up her playing style too. Now, some people might raise an eyebrow at such a relaxed look before a big game. But let's remember, the Fever have already locked up that number 6 seed for the playoffs. So why not keep things light and breezy? It's actually a pretty smart move if you ask me. Staying loose and having fun can be a great way to shake off any pre-playoff jitters. Plus, when you're putting up the kind of numbers Clark has been this season, you've earned the right to rock whatever look you want. I mean, let's talk stats for a second. Coming into this game, Clark was averaging a cool 19.5 points, 8.4 assists, and 5.7 rebounds per game. Those are Rookie of the Year numbers, folks. Heck, those are borderline MVP numbers. Speaking of which, it's kind of wild that Clark isn't higher up in the MVP conversation. I know she's shocked by her current ranking in that race. And honestly, same here. The impact she's had on this Fever team and the league as a whole has been nothing short of phenomenal. But you know what? Maybe flying a bit under the radar in terms of MVP chatter isn't the worst thing for a rookie heading into their first playoff run. Less pressure, more opportunity to surprise people. And if there's one thing we've learned about Caitlin Clark this season, it's that she loves to exceed expectations. Now, I want to take a moment to appreciate the vibe Clark and the Fever are putting out there. In pro sports, we often see this intense, almost grim focus before big games. And don't get me wrong, that approach works for a lot of athletes. But there's something refreshing about seeing a team, especially one led by such a young star, taking a more relaxed approach. It reminds me of those stories you hear about great players in other sports, like how some NFL quarterbacks are known for cracking jokes in the huddle during crucial drives. Or baseball pitchers who are laughing and joking around in the dugout minutes before taking the mound in a playoff game. There's a confidence in that approach that's really admirable. And let's be real, confidence is something Caitlin Clark has in spades. From the moment she stepped onto a WNBA court, she's played with the poise and assurance of a seasoned veteran. So if she wants to show up to the arena looking like she's ready for a beach volleyball game rather than a basketball match, more power to her. It's also worth noting how this kind of attitude can impact the rest of the team. Basketball is a game of momentum and energy, and having your star player radiating chill, positive vibes can be infectious. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Clark's relaxed demeanor helps settle any nerves her teammates might be feeling as they head into the postseason. Now let's talk a bit more about what this playoff berth means for the Fever. This is a team that's been through some tough times in recent years. They haven't made the playoffs since 2016, which, in WNBA terms, is a pretty long drought. So the fact that they're not just in the postseason, but locked into a solid 6th seed, that's huge. A lot of credit for this turnaround has to go to Clark, of course. But it's not just her. This Fever team has really come together over the course of the season. They've got a nice mix of young talent and veteran leadership, and it's all starting to click at just the right time. As for their playoff prospects, well, being the 6th seed means they'll likely face some stiff competition right out of the gate. But you know what? I wouldn't count this team out. They've got momentum on their side, they're playing loose and confident, and in Clark, they have a player who can take over a game at any moment. Plus, there's something to be said for being the underdog. The pressure's off, in a way. No one's really expecting the Fever to make a deep run, which means they can play free and easy. And teams that play free and easy can be dangerous in the playoffs. Let's circle back to Clark's outfit for a second, because I think it's actually a pretty interesting window into her mindset. Here's a player who's been under an intense spotlight all season. The hype around her coming out of college was enormous, and she's had to deal with sky-high expectations from day one. But instead of buckling under that pressure, Clark seems to be embracing it. She's not trying to put on some ultra-serious, look at how focused I am front. Instead, she's just being herself, rocking a casual outfit, having fun with her teammates, and then going out and balling out on the court. It's a reminder that at the end of the day, this is still a game. Yes, it's high-level professional basketball with a lot on the line, but it's also supposed to be fun. And Clark seems to be having a blast out there. Now, I'm not saying that Clark's casual approach means she's not taking things seriously. Far from it. You don't put up the kind of numbers she has this season without an incredible work ethic and dedication to your craft. But there's a difference between being serious and being uptight. And Clark seems to have found that perfect balance. It's also worth noting how Clark's attitude and approach seem to be rubbing off on her teammates. The Fever as a whole seem to be playing with a newfound confidence and joy. They're not just happy to be in the playoffs, they look like a team that believes they can make some real noise. And why shouldn't they feel that way? They've got one of the most electrifying young players in the league leading the charge. They've shown they can hang with the best teams in the WNBA. And now, they're heading into the postseason with momentum on their side. You know, it's funny. At the start of the season, a lot of people were wondering how Clark would adjust to the pro game. Would her skills translate? Could she handle the increased physicality? Would the pressure be too much? Well, I think it's safe to say she's answered all those questions with a resounding yes. Not only has Clark adapted to the WNBA game, she's thrived in it. She's playing with a confidence and flair that's rare for any player, let alone a rookie. And now, as we head into the playoffs, the question isn't whether Clark can handle the pressure. It's how far can she lead this Fever team? Could we be looking at one of those magical playoff runs where a young team catches fire at just the right time? Only time will tell, of course. But one thing's for sure, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And if Clark's pregame outfit is any indication, she's going to be enjoying every minute of it. You know, thinking about Clark's journey this season, it's pretty remarkable how quickly she's become not just a star player, but a leader on this Fever team. Coming into the league with as much hype as she did, it would have been easy for her to try to do too much, to force things in an attempt to live up to expectations. Instead, she's played within herself, made her teammates better, and helped transform the culture of the entire organization. That's no small feat for a rookie, no matter how talented. It's also worth noting the impact Clark has had on the league as a whole. WNBA viewership and attendance are up across the board this season, and a lot of that can be attributed to the Caitlin Clark effect. She's brought new fans to the game, raised the league's profile, and done it all while staying true to herself. That's what makes her pregame outfit so perfect in a way. It's just Clark being Clark. No pretense, no trying to be something she's not. Just a young woman who happens to be really, really good at basketball, showing up to work in clothes she feels comfortable in. And isn't that what we want from our sports stars? Authenticity, relatability, and of course, incredible performances on the court. Clark is delivering on all fronts. As we look ahead to the playoffs, it's going to be fascinating to see how Clark and the Fever handle the increased pressure and intensity. Will they be able to maintain this loose, confident vibe when the stakes are higher? Or will we see a different side of this team? My guess? They'll stay true to who they are. Clark has shown a remarkable ability to rise to the occasion all season long. There's no reason to think the playoffs will be any different. Plus, let's not forget that while Clark is the star, this Fever team is more than just one player. They've got a solid supporting cast that's been improving all season long. If they can continue to play off each other and maintain this positive team chemistry, they could be a real handful for any opponent. You know, it's moments like these, seeing a young star like Clark leading her team into the playoffs with such poise and confidence, that remind you why sports are so special. It's not just about the games themselves, but the stories, the personalities, the human drama that unfolds over the course of a season. And make no mistake, the Caitlin Clark story is one for the ages. From college phenom to WNBA rookie sensation, she's captured the imagination of basketball fans everywhere. Now, as she prepares to make her playoff debut, there's a sense that we might be witnessing the start of something truly special. Will Clark lead the Fever on a Cinderella run through the playoffs? Will she add a playoff scoring record to her already impressive list of accomplishments? Or will the more experienced teams in the league find a way to slow her down? These are the questions that make playoff basketball so exciting. And with Clark at the center of it all, you can bet the eyes of the basketball world will be on the Indiana Fever. As we wrap up, I can't help but think about the message Clark is sending with her relaxed demeanor and casual outfit. It's a reminder that at the end of the day, basketball is a game. Yes, it's high stakes. Yes, it's their job. But it's also meant to be fun. Too often in pro sports, we see athletes who seem burdened by the pressure, who lose that joy that made them fall in love with the game in the first place. Clark, on the other hand, seems to be having the time of her life. And you know what? That joy is contagious. It spreads to her teammates, to the fans, to everyone watching. So as the Fever head into this final regular season game, and then on to the playoffs, here's hoping they can maintain that positive, relaxed energy. Because a team that's having fun, that's playing loose and confident, that's a team that can do some real damage in the postseason. And with Caitlin Clark leading the way, looking like she's ready for a day at the beach, but playing like she owns the court, well, anything is possible. The WNBA playoffs are about to get very, very interesting. That's all for now, sports fans. This is Jenny, signing off from the Sports Day Tribune. Keep it locked here for all your Caitlin Clark and WNBA playoff updates. And remember, whether you're on the court or in the stands, keep that positive energy flowing. After all, sports are meant to be fun. See you next time.